Hi, and welcome to the Thinking Out Loud podcast, a show with meaningful conversations in English with non native speakers like myself, Jendrik.
And myself, Masha,
And we are two English teachers who.
who like coffee.
What? This is the
Do you
last
like
thing I
coffee?
like. No,
Exactly.
I mean,
I think I figured out the grand reason behind our financial failure, because all your students know that you don't like coffee, and you ask them to, buy us a coffee. That's why nobody's buying us
yeah, you're
coffee,
right. You're right,
Stop telling people that you don't like coffee.
All right.
He loves
Guys, that's true.
coffee.
No, I mean, I have to change it to beer, right? That would be more honest, at least to
No,
my
I
side.
don't
I don't know
like
about
beer.
you. You don't like beer? I saw you once drinking a bottle like 1.5 liters.
Yeah, once in a blue moon, and only if I have this, taranka, it's dried fish.
Ah, all right. All right. Fine. Well, I'm a beer lover, so I could. But
Buy
so, what
him
is
a
the drink that
beer.
we could?
Buy him a
What is the
beer.
drink
Buy
that we
him a
could
beer.
both enjoy?
Wine, of course, you live in France.
Wine. Yeah, I mean, I do enjoy wine, but surprisingly, I'm not drinking a lot of wine.
And are
I
you
I
drinking a lot
think
of beer?
I think I do, although I used to drink more. But I'm not sure where would I be classified in that yearly ranking. You know, there are some rankings of nations and how many liters per capita do particular nations drink, and there's always the Czechs who drink a lot, Germans and Poles. I think also rise in these rankings. We kind of move from stronger alcohols to beer and wine, but still I think yeah, I'm not definitely not drinking as much as an average Czech. But who
As
knows,
an
you know,
average
maybe.
French man?
Mm. I'm sorry, still struggling with some sort of infection, you know. It's started last week and it continues. Yeah, but so Masha, wait, yeah, I'll switch that to wine, you know, because you're right, I am addicted to coffee.
Well, I
I'm
mean,
addi-
the
I mean,
best,
sorry, not sorry. Did I say addicted? What I meant was allergic.
Freudian slip. Um,
Yeah.
Maybe we should go with water. This is so, I mean,
Yeah, but these
of
guys, they don't even
course.
have that offer, I guess. That would be
Buy
so
me,
nice. Buy us
buy me
water, you know.
some water. Who would refuse? Who would say no to
But wait,
that?
that's it's kind of like begging for, you know, it's like I'm begging for bread or something. This is such a
Yeah,
basic
but
stuff, you know.
people can
There
live
has to be some
without
luxury
wine
to
and
it.
without.
No, but we are
Ah,
talking about tipping, Masha. We are talking about tipping, not about sustaining
are
someone.
we?
No matter what it is, but the service itself, buy me
Okay.
coffee,
Hmm.
is about tipping
Off-putting in
people
your
because
case.
it's a voluntary payment. So
Yeah.
yeah, so it's not really like sustaining. Maybe we should switch to Patronite or something because that is more like, you know,
Professional.
more professional, I think, and less kind of
And we could
uh,
publish some, as far as I understand how it works, you can publish some content there, which will be only for your subscribers, people who are willing to tip you
yeah,
or
but what
whatever
would
you
that
call it.
content be in our case?
Oh, come on. We can come up with
Like you
all
playing a
our,
lira?
it's not a lyra, it's the harp.
Oh,
It's the
sorry,
concert
it's the
harp. It's
harp.
actually,
All right.
I think it's one of the most expensive instruments ever.
All right.
It costs, a fortune. But no. We could bloopers. We have people will be interested in that. That's funny.
Yeah, but I don't think we keep them,
I
do we?
do.
Or
I mean, the
well,
first, the
I never
first,
edit.
the first ones.
Oh, the
Not
first ones
now, of
were
course,
this is
but at the
golden. This is
beginning.
golden.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
The
yeah.
first ones were golden. It's true.
Or maybe the very first episode, which were never published.
What? There is something like
Not the
this?
first, yeah, maybe the second. Of course, we have 2 or 3 which that were never published.
Are you serious? I
I
don't know. I know we recorded 2 episodes that were kind of stashed, for the
Yeah,
rainy day,
yeah, yeah.
but we never published that because it was the old thinking out loud.
Yeah,
And
but okay, what if somebody, right now discovered a very fast, song written by the Beatles? Of course it's crappy, but people would pay,
you are being
you know.
carried away a bit.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, but you're right. I mean, yeah, the whole thing about turning a podcast into a profitable enterprise, I think is
To sustain, not to dip.
yeah. I mean, I'm not really sure if going more pro or paid basically if that requires you to be kind of more pro in the whole editing stuff and so on. Look how cheap is this podcast. I mean,
I
it's
don't like the
fantastic
word
in terms of
cheap, okay?
cheap in terms of production,
Still,
because we record, we publish that online. These are of course great, spontaneous, clever, meaningful conversations,
you're being carried
but
away a little bit.
all right. Fine. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to episode number 100, and that could be a watershed. That could be, it's actually 4 weeks away.
It's like
My God, 1 month away.
looking forward to the 1st of January. You always under this illusion that on the 1st of January you wake up and your life will be totally different. Some miracle will happen, and it never does, and you feel really, really bad. So don't do that to yourself.
Yeah, you're right. It would be better to transition like in the episode 104 or something like that. So that's totally random. Yeah, but anyway, Masha, our anniversary or the 100th
Hmm.
episode is coming 1 month away. Um, I have no idea. I should prepare something, something special.
Okay.
Yeah, I have an idea, but we'll see. We should also invite some guests
As long
here.
as you don't make me sing or play any musical instruments, okay, I'm fine.
Wait a second. I think you're competent.
No, it's
All
totally
right.
amateurish.
Great. Anyway, I just wanted to remind everybody that yes, we do have buy me a coffee or buy me a beer or buy me a wine service. And you can click that. You can donate if you enjoy our show. It's true that this account that we have there is basically quite dry, to be honest. We did have some initial success, but then
It was me.
Masha, you were one of the contributors, which kind of
Yeah,
to
pathetic.
me is like it is
No, we did it
pathetic.
to test. We did it to test if
Yeah,
it worked.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it does work. It does work. The money you send ends up on our account, but we haven't yet used that money. We haven't yet touched it.
Yeah.
So imagine what we could do for the $20 that are there.
Imagine
Or
if
I don't know how much actually.
20, I think it's 3.
Yeah. No, no, no. It's 20 or 25.
What?
Maciek did
Wow.
pay a lot.
Oh, thank you
Yes.
much. So you could put it into we should put it in, open an account in the Swiss bank, and in a couple of years we'll be millionaires.
Yeah, there's the
Or
power of,
invest in your whatever stock.
yes, exactly. Don't forget about the compound interest, the power of the compound interest,
Yeah,
1%
happy
each year.
retirement.
And then,
Oh,
yes. All right. I think I sent you the meme about retirement lately, right? That about this guy who calculated his retirement options and it turned out he could retire at 97 and enjoy 11 minutes of his life in peace. The remaining 11 minutes of his life. All right. Masha, what do you think about the future of language teaching? And I don't want to go specifically into, discussing AI and all this stuff because we have some sort of censorship here, because we talked a lot about it. But do you feel like this profession may survive the wave of technological changes that we are observing?
Survive, yes.
Mm-hmm.
There are always, enthusiasts.
Always some rats who will survive even a nuclear strike.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And what
This is a
what do
very
you think? And so look at the same thing. I'm asking you because I am as we record this, I'm thinking about writing a text about the future of teaching and learning, and so I just want to pick your brains a bit.
You're going
And
to
so, what
write
do
a
you think about?
text about the future of teaching and learning?
Yes, this is
This
my
is
idea for.
such a vast topic. How are you going to
It's
squeeze it into
fast,
three
but
paragraphs? Are
that's the
you
magic of.
Jesus Christ? You can, like.
No, I'm going to share my insights on the situation. That's all. I mean, I'm not going to write specifically about everything, but what do you think about learning in that case? What will happen to learning? Because maybe this is more interesting than teaching, right?
I'm thinking of some. I don't know if you have such students, but I've seen many people who don't enjoy, studying English.
Hmm.
And for these people, it's just a necessity. It's something they have to do, and they're clearly not enjoying it. And their progress is actually very, I want to say incremental, very slow,
Hmm. Hmm.
and they're obviously struggling. And like I said, the most important thing is they are not enjoying it. So for these
Hmm.
people, I think it's that solves all their problems, because
Yeah,
right now
yeah.
with the latest
And they will
update,
be
they don't
gone. They
have
will
to.
be gone.
Yes,
They will
they
be
will be gone
gone forever from let's say the
from
market, if I
classrooms
may call it, from classrooms. Yeah,
because
who's
they.
going to stay?
I haven't. Mm, I mean, my version, the version I'm using is free version. So as far as I understand, this is the latest one is for
For
paid
all?
subscribers.
Hmm.
Yeah.
No, it's not. I think
No.
it has been opened. I don't know, whatever. You talk about
So
ChatGPT, don't
basically,
you?
yeah. So basically, right
Yeah.
now, as far as I understand, you can, it can translate people, in real time. For example, if I go to China, I can speak with
Mm-hmm.
people there using this tech,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and it's probably good.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
We can
so
expect that even if it's not good today,
yeah, you can
it's
watch
what Ethan
shows, your
Mollic.
favorite
It's what Ethan
shows.
Mollic wrote in his book Co-Intelligence. Uh, we are playing Pac-Man in a world that's going to have PlayStation 6 in a moment. So this thing, this AI that you're using now is the worst AI ever, because it can only get better.
Yeah, remember the first computer
Yeah, exactly. But
or the
except
first phone?
yeah, the time required from the first computer
Yeah,
to what we have now was like really decades long. This technology, I mean AI, is going to progress at a pace that is counted in quarters rather than years, right?
yeah.
If not months. I
If
mean,
not months, yeah. And
yes.
but on the other hand, like I told you before, I think in some countries, and this is what I see in Ukraine, people, I think we still, like teachers in this industry in general, still has some time, due to this simple fact that people don't, uh, don't know what this tech is capable of because they
Yeah,
heard
yeah.
about it.
Because they don't have
Okay, they
time.
tried. No, they tried it once. They asked it,
Hmm.
some question. sometimes technical question. This is the worst case scenario. You ask it some technical question, it gives you clearly the wrong answer, and you understand that it's the wrong answer, and you say, it's crap, and you never go back to it again. But if you put in a little effort, like this in this podcast that we discussed many times, when you basically have patience and you
Sorry,
work
you
with this
refer to
system.
Ezra Klein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the writer, I think, of this book.
Ethan Mollic. Yeah.
And that's what he says, that he encourages people to, yes, invest a little time, but the system, basically you teach the system, and it learns about you a lot, and it gets better and better and better. It understands you better, and then but people never go through this process. At least this is what I see in Ukraine. Everybody's so dismissive of it. It's just crap,
Yeah, it's
what
exactly
are
the
you
same
afraid
reaction I'm
of? It's
observing in France. Yeah. I mean, at least, among the colleagues from my co-working office, I mean, some people had a go at it. They tried one or
yeah,
two prompts. It's like, this is crap, it doesn't tell me what I want to know.
But this is, this is very typical with any new tech. You get this, you buy a new
Yeah.
device, and at the beginning it's very difficult to, not very, but complicated maybe to use, and you try, and then you fall back into your old, ways of doing things, and it stands there collecting dust in your flat. But then, maybe with time, if you are patient, if you put some effort into it, then of course this thing will get things done for you, much, I mean, what is it, vacuum cleaner or washing machine. So yeah, I think it will happen eventually. People will see its benefits, but for now we still have some time, I think.
Yeah, it's gonna go this, the road of a snowball, right? It's like, there are these early adopters right now who, like Ethan Mollic, like the author of Co-Intelligence, that that they are totally crazy about it, and they explore the possibilities of the technology, and there are the people who will basically jump on that bandwagon in due time, and it is rather sooner than later. But coming back to
and actually,
language courses,
who plays a very who will play a crucial role in this process? It's employers of big corporations, because right now what they're doing, they are forcing their employees to start using AI at work.
You're right.
So they would be the driver of this, I think, process.
You're right. Some companies were first very reluctant about it. There were even some bans on using it.
Yes.
And now it's the opposite, because they are actually encouraging people, and they are even offering them specific
they train
AIs
them.
that are exactly. I mean, companies have different contracts with OpenAI and others, and they basically have their own models that are trained on their data and so on. I think it was Ella who told me recently that they have such an AI in their company that is kind of an internal AI, very clever, and I wonder if that was Ella, if not mixing up things, but anyway, I say hi to Ella. But
it's even right now there is this concern among, let's say, HR professionals, and I know this because I have some students who are in HR, and I watch a lot of HR related videos, and I listened to a podcast the other day where they discuss.
I have one thing to tell you in a second. All right, go on, Masha.
And they discuss this trend, what they're seeing, that employees who use Gen AI at work are very likely to leave and look for another job, because they're probably, I didn't quite get their point, but how, as far as I understand it, is that they, when there is a gap, in the team, some people use it and know how to use it, some people don't, and you kind of basically you suddenly more effective. Yeah, you can do more, but the way I don't know, your day is organized or the tasks are built, it discourages you. You kind of, it's like you go to a very, very good daycare, you learn how to count and read, and then you go to school first grade, and then they start teaching you again this is what happens very often in Ukraine, and they start teaching you to read again, but you already know all this. But they do it because there are some kids who didn't go to this great, cool daycare, and they don't know how to read. So you spend basically first year of school, you're bored, and that's why they're very likely to quit their jobs and look for something more challenging.
This conversation is getting, is getting. I think is always, wide, but I think it's the nature of spontaneous conversations. But there's a very controversial plan for a reform, or I think a reform that has already been voted. I'm not sure about this in France, and it refers to primary schools starting in September. They
this
want
year?
to. This year, yeah, I mean the next school year, they want to, I sorry for the word, but start segregating students into good and, let's say, less good ones or bad ones. Yes. It means that, normally when you have classes in school,
based on
like
what, their
class
performance?
A, B, C, yes, this is going to be based on the performance. So basically the good students will be in class with good students. The bad students will be in class with bad students, because the system, and technically speaking, it makes a lot of sense, because the good will, I
differentiated
think, feel.
instruction. Yeah, you do it like this.
Yeah, I mean, basically, the let's say slower students, whatever we call them, not to offend them, but they will also, I think, benefit from it, because being with you will not be so lost as you are with these people who are a bit more
Maybe.
advanced and so on. Maybe, I think, also, if you think about, because it's hard to think about it in terms of academic performance, but imagine sports. If you get guys who know how to play basketball and they play together, they make a better team altogether, right? And they get better, basically. And this is how it works. If you put the good together, they will run faster. If you mix the good and the bad, they will run slower. It's obvious. If you put the bad to the bad, will they go slower altogether? Well,
yeah, but there are many arguments for
many,
and against
but
that.
the principal argument, and of course, I'm hearing that from parents here in France. I'm hearing that from students themselves. They say that it's a horrible idea. It's going to divide the society. Imagine parents, why is my daughter in the, worst class?
I know exactly what you're
Why
talking
not?
about, because here we are moving away from this. This is how it used to be in our schools. We have A,
Oh,
B, C, and if you're
you've been
A,
there.
you're an A. Yes, you're
Ah,
an A, straight
all
A
right.
student. Okay, A.
Tell us about it.
Now we are, and everybody knew about that. It was not a secret. And
Sorry, but
okay,
was it an official agenda of, I know, the government or
well, what do you mean
the education
official?
ministry? I mean,
It was not
was it
written.
like
It's unspoken policy, let's say.
unspoken?
Yeah,
Ah,
but
okay. I have a feeling that I attended, because in my primary school, which was a small primary school, there were only two classes of 30 students, and my class, class A, I'm pretty sure was better, but it wasn't based on any policy. I mean,
not official. No, 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 no,
national
no.
policy. It was, I think, done internally.
But I'm sure in
Uh,
any school it was the situation was the same. You say it's not national.
you
It's
sure?
like,
All right.
yeah. Well, at least I can speak
No,
for
but
my country.
France is
France
going
is
to
going to
make it.
introduce this right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, and make it official.
but it's an official national
Yeah.
policy of education.
So, and we are kind of trying to move away from this, but it's very, but in reality, things are still pretty much the same. What they do right now, what they did when my son started, well, my younger son started school, is they divided them into these three different classes, and usually the best ones got A, letter A.
Yeah,
And this
yeah,
year they
yeah.
say, no, now we have, and now we know that the best class is C, actually. So that you don't offend the parents. You just give them the letter they want to
That
see
would be
on their
too obvious, right?
Jesus, So yeah, we are trying to. I think we're
But
trying
wait,
to
wait. Why are there the attempts to move away from this
because
system?
inclusive education. That's the trend right now. You
Mm,
have
but is it
everybody in
about?
this.
But is it about political correctness? Is it about
Yeah,
results, or is it about
political
social
correctness,
cohesion? Political correctness is behind that.
social cohesion. I mean, uh,
But
I don't
sort
know.
of social
It's very
cohesion.
difficult to speak about about other. I honestly never. I honestly don't give a slightest damn about where my I'm asking him, are you happy? He's somewhere, I think, in the middle. And he says, yeah, we have the
Hmm.
best class because the other ones are nerds. You can't speak to them,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
these one
yeah.
are really
Exactly.
so it's
Exactly.
always better to. But basically the social status of, because you look at the school, you have to look at the school, not at the different classes, um, because this, I mean, all parents who send their kids to my school, they have pretty
Hmm.
much the same income level if we're talking about
Hmm.
money. Yeah?
Hmm. Hmm.
If you can afford much better school, you would not ask your child to be transferred to class A. You would send him to
Or C.
another school or C, yeah, and pay. So in terms of social cohesion, I think it's fine. It's just it hurts your pride, I think, as a parent to see your child and
All right. So it's rather the shift is dictated by I don't want to call it ideology, but some sort of political correctness, or it feels right to have a mix. Um, yeah, I think it's going to generate a lot of discussion, a lot of strikes, of course, and days off in France. So I'm already, bracing for it because, I will have to spend time with my son at home next year because they are going definitely to protest, especially knowing that schools are hotbeds of this kind of left wing thinking, social justice and
in
so on. And
France.
of course,
Okay, we are only on this path. We are only at the beginning of this path because
all
in
right.
Ukraine it's the hotbed of right. Okay,
Of the
now
right.
it's changing.
No, I
It's
mean,
changing right now.
look at the Western, well, universities in the first place.
Yeah.
They
Hmm.
are definitely liberal, and it
Yeah.
also it has changed because if you think about universities in the oh, I can't. I hope I won't make a mistake. But they used to be, of course, very traditional minded. What is very often called right wing, right? So there is no
Yeah,
family
but are you talking about
and
professors or students? Because they are not the same things,
both, both, both.
Both.
But I think, yeah, I wonder how did that shift start? I don't know
But
whether it was
look
professors
at
who
what's
got.
happening. What happened? In the U.S. How many? I'm talking about these campus protesters.
Hmm. Hmm.
I don't think that their professors supported them. Maybe very, very few. Those were mostly students. So it means that their
Mm,
values are not, basically maybe the same.
this is interesting. It looks to me like mm, the wild animals somehow broke out of their cages. Sorry, I
You
don't want
mean
to
how
compare, of
ugly it
course.
was at places? That's what you mean.
No, no, I don't mean even ugliness, which I think wasn't so bad. I mean, there were some
I don't know, showing
police
maps of the world
forces.
where there's no Israel and
Oh yeah, yeah,
anti-Semitic.
but sorry. What I want to say is that definitely the university elites, and I mean the professors,
Mhm.
were definitely overseeing the growth of that liberal, ultra liberal mindset, And at one point, this liberal mindset turned against their fathers, in the sense that right now, I think being on the side of Palestine is also a political choice, because you are supporting the weak, right? That is, at least I guess, how I interpret that. This is why the progressive left-leaning environments
Maybe.
support Palestine, because they are the weak, I think, in this equation. They are. I mean, technologically, financially, in all sorts of measures. Look at these Gazans. I mean,
Yeah, but you need to understand that Palestine, I mean, I think many people who support Palestine, they tend to separate, civilians from Hamas, because Hamas is also
sure. I mean,
Palestine.
I'm not sure if this is being done at global level. I mean, sure, if you get into the details, you have to separate that. But generally, Israel has committed some war crimes. That leaves no doubt. And it doesn't matter now whether they are chasing, these Hamas leaders, or they are basically killing innocent civilians, including children, elderly, everybody. So I think this is what generating, the wave of discontent, to put it mildly. Plus, Israel is very arrogant. They are not even, saying anything like apologizing or anything. They just do what they want to do. But what I wanted to say is that the shift in the mindset happened in the West much earlier. Um, I think Europe, of course. I mean, if you think about schools, and it starts in primary schools, and then academias, of course, they are left penetrated by the leftists and progressive forces and so on. And I'm saying this. Why am I even saying this? Oh yeah, because this will be the reason, primary reason of the protests in France. That it's not about school is not about performance. School is not about academic results. School is about justice. It's about social
So
coherence and
who do
so
you
on as well.
expect to protest? The teachers?
Parents and teachers, yeah,
Parents
for sure.
and
Teachers, for
teachers.
sure. Yes, yes. There are some teachers who say that, which is actually hard to believe, but some teachers who say that they have never been protesting, but now they will, because it's too much. This was the last straw. That decision to segregate people based on their academic achievements.
Hmm. Then this is this system that exists. I mean,
Hmm.
this way is, of course, being rewarded, because on how do you get into a university? Based on your performance.
Yeah, of course,
It's
of
a
course.
little bit
Hypocritical, you
contra
want to say?
no, look at I'm thinking of this from parents' perspective. I mean, parents who let's say a typical parent, because there is such a thing in
Hmm.
Ukraine, as a typical parent. They really want on the one hand, they want their children, especially primary school. In primary school, they are not even given grades. They're given smiley faces or suns, or whatever. And then they go to secondary school, and suddenly they have grades, and oh my God! So it's traumatic to a child.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
so on the one hand, they want their children. They want the school to be all about, like you said, justice and development and creativity. But on the other hand, at the end of school, they want their children to have very, very good, performance reports, because this is how they get to university.
Exactly, exactly.
So
This is some sort of uh, impossible situation, right? You want the school to be a place where you learn about equality, equity, and all these things, and also it's a safe environment where there's no pressure, no stress. But at the same time, the very same school has to grade you, and
Yeah, and this
that
testing,
grade
it's
is
like
going
I
to,
remember
yeah.
this about teaching English, They come to you, these parents, and I just want my child to speak English. But at the same time, test, test results. And this is also, so you want me to teach them to pass tests? This is one thing. I can do that. Or you want me to teach them to speak English? I don't have time for
I think, Masha,
both.
this is the paradox. Yeah, this is the paradox of the modern school
Yeah,
system.
yeah,
That
yeah, yeah. It's not
basically,
only about English.
yeah, grades have sort of detached themselves because it's very hard to grade, for example, a person's skills. There's so much, in my opinion. I find it very hard to test people and to assign some levels or grades. This is more complex than it looks.
Yeah, for
At
example, I have
first
a
glance.
new student right now, and the company pays for it. It doesn't even really, it's not that the company requires it, but she wants to have a quick, okay, short course, let's say 3 months, and
Mhm,
have classes twice a week. She
mhm,
wants to improve her speaking
mhm,
competence. And, from my perspective, she's very good.
mhm.
It's all, again, this case of she thinks that she's not good, but
Invite her on the show.
she asked me, first of all, can you give me a plan of each class, which will be the objective, so that I can see that objective is achieved. I said,
Mhm,
not really, because each time will be, you can see we ran a demo class, so it's a spontaneous conversation. Whatever will come up. There is no
mhm,
plan that next class we focus on
mhm,
third conditional or whatever. And then she keeps kind of pressing me for some kind of assessment. And she said, maybe you could evaluate my skills right now, and in 3 months
mhm,
I want to understand how my level has improved.
mhm,
Well, I said, I can definitely give you feedback on your speaking competence after these 3 months. I don't think that it's going to dramatically improve,
mhm.
because first of all, 3 months, it's nothing. It's
Second, you are on that learning curve that is pretty flat right now. I
yes,
assume,
she's
right? You
already
said
very
she's,
good to
yeah,
begin
yeah, yeah,
with. So how do you assess in 3 months? I mean, it's not a year.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that's tricky. And
But then
some
again,
people really want that. They want to know, am I better? We need to have
I
Alona
think
again
I think
on the show to explain this
yeah,
phenomenon.
yes, but
Hello to Alona, by the way, if you're listening. Thank you very
all
much.
right, yes, it was a great conversation with her. I want to say that these type of students, in my opinion, are probably going to disappear from the system once, let's say, the linguistic barrier is broken or abolished by technology.
I don't agree.
I
I
think.
think this kind
You
of
don't
people,
think
they
so?
will always need some kind of a certificate.
But what for if, for example, everything that you do potentially in foreign languages today is going to be translated to you into your first language before it even gets in front of you? I mean, before you hear it, before you read it.
No,
So
these are not
it
the
will
kind of
feel
people
like.
who don't enjoy learning English. They like it. They like speaking English. They like this feeling about themselves that they can speak a foreign language. I'm talking about this um, not stable self-esteem. And I believe me, I know what I'm talking about. I had the same
Mhm,
with my teaching. I always needed another certificate, another course,
mhm,
and once I got it,
mhm.
okay, I felt good for a short time. And then
For
I
one
always
week.
wanted another one and another one. The same
Yes.
with the same in languages. She wants some kind of proof, because
Mhm.
she
What
needs
is this
this
type of?
external.
Is that a nerd
No, it's not a
personality
nerd.
or
No, 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 no.
high achiever or something like that?
Mm, well, I can talk about myself only. Of course, don't know about
Hmm.
other people, but it's just that you're probably something to discuss with my therapist. You don't have it in yourself. You can't assess yourself. This question about, can compliments improve your self-esteem?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
interesting, self-esteem. There's a word self, how you assess yourself, but on the other hand, you
Mm-hmm.
need other people to tell you that you're good. And certificate is another person, basically, especially,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
somebody
Or
with
institution
authority.
is even better. It's
Yeah,
even better when it's a recognized institution issuing, a certificate. Then you trust their whatever methodology and
yeah.
assessment.
And somebody
Hmm.
else telling you that you're good. Because when you were a kid, nobody told you that.
You think it's coming from
Yes,
this
yes,
not being told you're good,
yeah. It's a
or maybe
prime,
being told you're good
it's
all the
your,
time, and then you
no,
you
no, no,
seek
not
that
you're good all
confirmation.
the time. But when you're a child, you need this basic feeling of, I would even call it psychological safety, that I am okay. Everything is okay with me. And it's only
Hmm.
my parents who can give it to me. It's not butt kissing all the time and telling, oh, you've eaten your porridge. Oh, well done. Great job. No, it's not about that. It's just that, you are good. If you make mistakes, it's fine.
Hmm.
That's what you want from your parents. If you don't get it, then you in your adult life you will need another person to tell you that you did a good job or you're good at this or this or that.
Yeah, to me, I don't know. I have never been like this. I have never, even though, as you know, I am overeducated, but I was never a collector of certificates or diplomas.
You were a
I wanted
collector
to
of
do something.
knowledge.
I, w- you know, Judging by how little of it is left in my head, I don't think so. But I
Maybe you
think
were
I wanted
genuinely
to do
driven by
something. Yeah,
curiosity.
yeah, exactly. I felt. I remember. You know what? Okay, this is a therapy session, so let's explore. But I remember
Then we'll
that
ask Alona to
graduating.
give feedback in next episode.
Yeah, exactly. Graduating from the university, it felt like I still have some fuel in the tank. In the sense
Mm.
that I don't feel I have explored or learned. It's not about not having learned enough, because it wasn't this sort of feeling. It was a feeling like I still have room for some more. I mean, and this is why I always wanted to study economics, and not for not because it was a popular major. It still is, I guess, and it
Not
it
because you want to
it
be a
opens.
CEO of a big corp.
I wanted to be a CEO of a
You
big corp,
did?
maybe. No, no, I didn't. I never wanted to be. I think I would be a horrible boss, but in the sense that I would be great for the workers and horrible for the shareholders.
Yeah, I'm afraid the same thing.
but what I wanted to say is that I just felt some sort of a void that the first university didn't kind of fill completely. So then I went on and I studied more. And yeah, but I never felt like I am an academic. I would never like to do a PhD or something like that, or stay at the academia and explore and read more and more and more. Not at all. Not at all. I am curious naturally, but I would never, I think, like to uh, do the strictly academic work. I hate writing academic papers. And the footnotes. Oh my goodness. No, not for me. That's why I enjoy writing a text. When I get some sort of an inspiration, like, okay, I get something, I'm able to write a text either for our newsletter or whatever. When I write to some magazines or electronic portals and so on, then I just if I find the usually when I'm pissed off, when something like gets me going, then yeah,
Like
it's easy, it's very
segregation of
easy.
children in
Yes.
France.
But yeah, I mean, this subject is actually quite interesting. because
Yeah,
I
of
think
course.
that the ministry wants to improve the system. They see what's happening in the PISA results. You know that France is basically diving in the rankings because maths is bad, French is bad, understanding from the context bad, or reading horrible stats, of youngsters. And I think it's only natural that the ministry wants to react and wants to maybe not necessarily get the stats higher, but yeah, I mean, the stats is again, some sort of a benchmark, and you see these
And just
results,
get a
and
more educated Frenchman,
yeah, yeah, exactly. And I think
better
so. So
educated.
the principle is perhaps sane, or sound,
The intentions are good,
But
let's say,
the intentions are good, yeah. But
but the road to hell
this
is
is
paved with
this is so
good
un-French. I
intentions.
can't even. I the first time I heard it because I learned about this. I think during lunchtime here, someone mentioned this, and I was like, "What? What sort of reform?" And they told me that about the details about this reform, and my first thought was, this is so un-French. This is so
Is the
against
Minister for
fraternité.
Education a Frenchman?
Yeah, I bet. I mean, who else would that be?
I don't know, some
Some
Hassim
kind of
Abdullah? No?
no, no, no.
No?
Yeah, no, no. I think no. I think no. I think it's an internally French idea. It isn't imposed. I wonder if other countries have actually experimented with that. I mean, especially Scandinavian countries or those that are well known for having really solid education systems. But I think if not, but even if they did, and even if it worked somewhere, this is so, I will repeat, so un-French, so against fraternité, the fraternity that is, in
Liberté and what else?
yes, exactly. And what is there?
Fraternité,
And
liberté.
equality,
Equality.
Yes,
Equality. Yeah.
equalité. What is that? Liberté, fraternité, égalité, égalité.
Égalité. Oh, yeah.
Yes. So it's equality, right?
Égalité is equality.
Yes. No, not quality. Did you
No,
say quality? No, equality.
equality. No, not
Yeah.
equal. It can't be.
Yes. Yes. Equality.
And what is
Yes. Equal. We are
egalitarian?
equal because
What
we are
is
equal.
egalitarian in English? There's a
You
word.
asked me about the definition.
Yeah, egalitarian.
Egalitarian. It means egalitarian. It means it's for everybody, or everybody can participate, right?
Ah, so it's the same root.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm not sure if this. Yeah. If the word equal is coming from that, probably not. But
probably
who
not.
knows? Yes. Anyway.
Egalitarian.
So
Okay.
yeah, that's what it is when it comes to uh, what motivates me. And once again, when I write, I never, or hardly ever, I do the footnotes. I hate that. Even though it's nice to have sources, I always admire people who are so organized in their
Or you
thinking.
will
They
be
have a
accused of
source for this.
plagiarism.
They have a source for this. They have a source for that. I
This is
like
what
to
happened
write
to me at
just.
university. I didn't have enough footnotes, and I was
Hmm.
accused of plagiarism, and I got
Mhm.
only C for my thesis. C.
But still see it and they kick you out. You're lucky.
No, no, I was not kicked out. But I'm usually, a B kind of
All
student.
right.
So it
All
was a
right. All right.
blow, such a
I was a
blow
natural C. I was a
to
natural
my.
C
Oh,
student. So
come
to
on,
me,
I'll never believe it. Never.
yeah, yeah. I never. I have never been. I mean,
You
there
were
were
not
some
there for the
areas where.
grades. Of course, we know
Yeah,
that. We
exactly. I
understand.
was not there for the
Yeah.
grades. And
And I was
the
there,
best
of course,
folks
as
are
you can
actually C
imagine. I
folks.
was there all solely for the grades. To
I
something to
think it's a
show
little
to my
trap.
mom.
I think grades is a little trap. It looks
Yeah.
good on paper. It sort of makes you feel comfortable, but I'm not sure. In the long run, it creates this exactly. I mean, school is reinforcing this kind of. I need a good grade. I need a good grade. I need to see an A, or some sort of a sign that I'm doing well. I don't need that sign. For
And
me,
I'm such, I'm such a, you will be shocked probably to hear that, but uh, last year in my school they introduced this electronic what is it called? You know, the system where you grade people.
Electronic. Uh, I know what you mean.
Register, register.
Register. All
Yeah,
right. I mean, so that
and
parents can access this
access
and
and
see their
look.
kids' performance and so.
Yes, and each parent had to apply for a password, and I
Hmm.
refused. And for 1 year, I don't know any single grade.
That's
And I
great.
don't care. And I never ask my son. Well, you know, sometimes like, are you sure you're going to fail this subject? You know, completely. Which is French usually. French is okay. I'm not even gonna start this.
What about French? Great language and very hard to learn.
Great language, but unfortunately he hates it, and it's solely because of the teacher. Like there's
I
no
hope it
doubt about
doesn't
that.
translate on the hate for France
Oh, well,
because
he's
these
never
are two
been to
different
France.
things. All right.
But this is
A
very
great country.
irresponsible on the other hand of me as a parent. This is my job.
You say irresponsible?
Yes.
No, I don't think so. You are doing a great favor to your son by not inquiring too much into that and not maybe pushing. The most important question in education, I think, in the current system, of course, is will you get to the next grade? Because staying and repeating the year,
The
I
year
think this is
it's horrible.
yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. I think it's it's this is really like a life wasted. You just have to do everything to just
But in
pass.
our schools, I mean, in our country, it happens so rarely. I mean, you have to be
Hmm.
so either dumb or so lazy or so
Hmm.
not giving a
Hmm.
damn. Then, I mean, maybe once
I
in
remember we had in our primary school in the eighth grade, which is the last one in Poland. We had guys who were 18 and who were legally smoking. And normally, I think, what's the age when you're in the eighth grade? I think you should be like 14, right?
14, my son is in the eighth grade
Yeah,
and he's
yeah,
14.
yeah, yeah. Exactly,
Actually,
exactly.
he
And there
says
were
that
guys
some
who
of
were
his
18,
classmates have
already
already.
adult, and
Ah,
the
okay,
teachers could
because
not even reproach them for smoking because what? I'm smoking, so
but can you
I'm an
smoke in
adult.
public places in France?
I mean, it was before
Uh,
before there was such strict normally students would go let's call it behind the school. There was a place where
Not on
everybody
school
knew that.
territory. This is what the teachers care about.
No, it was
You can
no,
do
this was actually school's territory. That they
ah,
were there. I guess it was an open secret. The teachers knew it,
yeah,
but
of course, always teachers always know it. Sometimes they
yeah.
choose to
And I mean,
reprimand.
I
Depends
I
on the
would
mood.
even sometimes these students, usually bad students, were smokers.
You see,
I
you're
thought it was
already growing into this idea of segregating. They're bad students, of course. They
no, but
smoke,
I
and
was always surprised, or I didn't understand how come these guys come back to classes, they smell of cigarettes, and
yeah,
the breath is just
yeah, I know.
awful.
Yeah,
And how come it doesn't produce any sort of scandal? I mean, kicking out from school. You're an underage. You smoke. I mean, I don't know. Probably if I
I'm more
smoked, if I
interested
smoked,
in.
they would kick me out. I'm pretty sure. But these bad guys, what can you do about
I
it?
always have a very different question. Okay, teachers probably, they have so much on their plate. But I mean, if you're underage, you don't make money, you don't earn any money. So your parents give you money. You spend this money on cigarettes. How come parents don't know this? Of course they must, because I mean, it's the
Hmm.
smell. You can't
Yeah,
hide it.
yeah, yeah,
So they know, they sponsor it, and they expect teachers to deal with it at school.
yeah. I mean, yeah. This is I don't know. But I think some parents want to be blind, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, because they avoid
uh,
conflict. Of course, they don't want a
they
conflict with
avoid
your teenager.
conflicts, yeah, and they are so I don't know what. But this is also a question for a psychologist. It's also a question for a
Okay,
psychologist.
we need to write
How
them down
much
because Alyona agreed
how
to for
much can
to
you be
one more episode.
blinded? How much can you be blinded by the love or what to your children that you don't see the obvious simply. You know,
No, it's
that
not
they
the
are cheating,
love
that
to
they're
your
small, that they're
children. No.
what is it? Is
You
it
don't want
fear
to
of
fight with
losing them?
them. Yeah, you don't want to fight with them
All
because
right.
it's not going to end well, and so you just prefer. It's like you avoid conflicts. That's it. I can totally understand that, totally. And maybe that's what
All
I'm
right.
doing, but by not checking his grades.
All right.
Another reflection, for my
There's
journal.
a thin line, there's a thin line between
Of
this,
course, yeah. But
and
you can't lie to yourself. There is a thin line, but
yeah,
you deep
yeah,
inside,
but but
right?
but liberty is a great thing. Having liberty as a student, liberty in the sense that that you because it's only here that you can get some sort of responsibility, learn to be responsible for your performance, for everything. But again, too much liberty, and makes you
Yes.
spoiled.
And isn't it, I sometimes think that isn't it my job as a parent? And I think about this because my older son, when he grew up, he told me that it was your job and you didn't teach me good work ethic.
All right.
What do you say to
But you
that?
say, son, I've
Is
been
it-
like this,
I'm so
I
sorry
no, I think
that I
you
taught
can't.
myself and it was hard, but I did it. But it was
So he
your
will do
job.
the same. He will do the same.
What do you
I mean,
mean?
if you taught yourself, then your son will teach himself too.
No, I was taught good work ethic by my parents
All right.
the hard way.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
All
yes.
right. Okay, so you are this sort of, reaction, That's
Yeah,
that's how
counter.
generations differ from one
Yeah, yeah,
another.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, yes. All right, great. Masha, thanks a lot. I'll have a problem to name this episode once again,
Didn't you?
because we started.
There's a
Sorry.
bumblebee or something. Quite
Uh-huh.
big, actually. Okay.
All right, it's. I saw it. I saw
You
it in
saw
front of the
it?
camera. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. All right, it's gonna
Easter
be
egg.
one of
Another
these
Easter egg
Easter eggs. Yes,
because my cat
yes.
is
We should
out
open
all
the
the
paid.
time.
We should open the paid, subscription model where you
Yeah.
get all these, uh, Easter eggs that are funny only to us. All right, Masha, thanks a lot. We started by discussing. Where did we actually start? Discussing, of course, AI a
Coffee.
bit.
We want a
Coffee.
coffee.
All right, coffee. Then a little bit of AI. Then a little bit of the French reform.
Educate.
In education, and we ended up as talking about
Parenting.
parenting
Mm.
and issues there. All right. Great. I hope you enjoyed listening to our conversation. Just as I enjoyed speaking to you, Masha. It's always a pleasure. Uh, I think uh, I think our listeners feel that I'm not suffering speaking to you, right?
I hope.
It's like because it's really it's the recording itself. It's pure
I
pleasure.
certainly
It's pure
don't.
pleasure.
I certainly
I don't
don't.
even know. I don't even know where this 1 hour goes. It's like it's such a easy conversation. It's so easy to speak with you. It's great. I think, and it's rare. I think it's rare. And this, Masha, by the way, I want to say about the future of learning and teaching, and
This
this
is the future.
this easiness of conversation, which is not exactly based on your linguistic skills. This is the future product that is going to replace today's traditional language learning. They will be just conversations, easy, nice, pleasant,
But you can already
and
have easy, nice, pleasant conversation with
yes, I'm already living in the
AI.
future. You too. All right. I think, yeah, that is another thing. That's another point. You'll have to be better than AI in conversations, which is going to be hard. But you'll have to be um, somewhat somehow. and somewhat better than AI. Perhaps because you're a human, you know, maybe that will be enough. But for sure, that is the way I see the future. Read my text if you haven't yet in our newsletter. Thanks
Okay,
for
I got it. Because like, have I seen it? Did I miss it? Oh my God, what's going on? No.
we are
Okay,
recording.
we are
We recorded
recording.
before it got published, but by the time this episode is online, this text will also be online. Go
Okay.
to our Substack. It's tolpodcast.substack.com. Thanks a lot for listening, Masha. Thanks once again for the recording, and it's over to you, I guess.
Maybe I should have recorded and you will just
Yeah, and I would just
thank you
paste exactly. I
everyone.
should
Yeah.
just paste. Yeah, but
Thank you
it wouldn't be the
everybody.
same.
You think so? It's always the same. Thanks everyone for being with us. Thank you for buying us coffee. Maciek, thank you very much. I didn't know that. Do you support our podcast?
Yes, he's a mule that is carrying this whole project.
Yeah. And this was another episode of the Thinking Out Loud podcast. Stay tuned for the next one. Bye.
Bye bye.